Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking rye. All right, Ben, this rye you speak of, what is it?
It is right here. It is BAM. This is a limited edition from Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers Bold and Spicy. Got a limited edition whiskey here, Greg.
Okay.
So this, as I said, is the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers Bold and Spicy. This is a 107 proof rye whiskey from Jack Daniel's.
And before we get into it, either your hands are like super grown or something is wrong.
It's a little bit of both. Yeah, this is actually a 500 mil bottle, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Well,
I've seen the 700 mils,
Yeah.
375s, the 50s, and of course the 750. But this is, they released two of these apparently. This happens to be the rye. They also have
This is number 2.
a regular Tennessee whiskey, one called Sweet and Oaky. Unfortunately, they didn't have that at the duty-free shop that I was legally allowed to buy whiskey at. I picked this up in Cozumel.
Okay.
So let's get into it. I'm excited about this. 107 proof is really what intrigues me about this one.
What was the last Jack Daniel's rye? I mean, we had that single barrel proof rye that was amazing.
I think that's the only ones we've had.
I
Is
think
the single
so,
barrel
but it
proof.
was really high proof.
Oh, it's got a great nose.
Vanilla and
This has a really, really nice balance of the sweet
vanilla
notes
and cupcake.
and the spicy rye notes. Cupcake, I'm with you on that. It's a little pastry
Or
driven.
the frosting,
Yeah, vanilla frosting, almost like the artificial vanilla frosting.
as opposed to the.
The natural frosting. Well, you know what I mean, like the artificial vanilla taste. Yeah, I suppose that didn't make much sense. All right, let's get into the palate here. Cheers.
This is working. I like it. You know, if they put that in a bottle and sold it, I think people would buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, they should make that a regular release. That's really, really nice.
It's nice.
That's got a viscosity to it that I wasn't expecting, like super oily and dense. And the stuff on the nose transfers to the palate too,
Yes.
where it's got the rye spice, the bold and spicy, but it does have some nice vanillas and just like, yeah, I kind of agree with you on the cupcake kind of pastry notes. Yeah, this is really good.
This works really well. It's got a interesting finish. It doesn't punch like, I mean, it doesn't drink like it's super high proof. I mean, 107 is maybe a shock at how mellow it is.
I would say it drinks a bit under that. It drinks a little closer to 100, but
it's
the
got so much
flavors,
flavor and character.
yeah, it's almost like the alcohol burn is maybe at 100, but
Yeah.
the flavors are at 107.
Yeah.
You know? This is really good. Some of these things that they make, I don't know why they don't just make them as a regular release.
Maybe they can't produce it in enough quantity.
It could be.
But if this were available, this could potentially be my number one go-to every day, as long as it's not crazy expensive.
I think I paid,
That can't be super expensive.
I can't remember what I paid for it. 50 maybe? So they are a little expensive for the size
For
that
the
they
size.
are.
But if
Something
it were
like that.
if it were a regular Jack Daniel's available everywhere at 107 proof, so you'd expect, you know, $45, $50.
Maybe closer to 40 actually now that I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, this is really, really good. It's interesting. It's a bit of a departure from your standard bourbon, obviously.
Yep.
But I like it a lot.
Well, let's see what the taste notes on the side are. So taste, this well-rounded rye whiskey brings caramel and dry baking spice. I'm with you on the baking spice. I didn't get too much of the caramel. I said caramel when I read this.
Yeah. It's a little bit pretentious.
An enticing blend of full, sweet, soft fruit layered with an underlying rye spice of oak on the aroma and on the finish, peppery rye character on the back end. I'm with you on the peppery rye character on the back end, which sounds dirty, but it isn't. Yeah, this is really nice. I would definitely buy this again. I would definitely buy this if this was a regular.
Oh, yeah.
This one to me, I feel like with me, ryes kind of go one way or another, you know. Some of them are just all that spicy. Kind of get the black licorice notes a little bit, the allspice, the clove. Mm-hmm. This one's got some of that spice, like I said, but when you balance it out with those sweet notes, I think nice and sweet ryes are really becoming a whiskey that I love to go to.
So there's two whiskeys that I think we've liked over the last year are really high quality ryes and then well finished ryes.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So I don't know if I'm just becoming more of a rye drinker or it's just that we've had a few really good ones. Because I've definitely had some where it's like, yeah, it's good, but it's not.
Yeah, nothing
wouldn't
special.
be my go-to.
Yep.
You know, I'm still a bourbon guy at heart.
Yep.
But stuff like this really kind of makes me lean further into rye.
Yep, and maybe like a Knob Creek rye and a few of the other Wild Turkey, their ryes are, but those are what you call barely legal.
Yep.
Where they're
and I have no idea
bourbon-like.
what the mash bill on this thing is, but definitely good. Definitely if you're traveling
This drinks
internationally.
more like a rye. Like the corn's probably either really low. I don't think the corn is.
Yeah, that's
49%.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're traveling internationally and you see these, I would definitely pick one up. This is really interesting. Awesome. Like I said, I got this one in Cozumel. I did check out the duty free in Orlando, but of course I couldn't buy anything because at that point I was flying from Orlando to Minneapolis, and they did have that sweet and oaky one, which is the traditional or the bourbon like one.
Sure.
And so now with as good as this one is, I'm definitely bummed out that I couldn't buy one of those other ones, and maybe I'll just plan a vacation to go buy one at some point. So if you see this, and if you've had this, definitely let us know in the comments. And if you've had that sweet and oaky one, that it looks similar to this, but it's a different color, and obviously it has a different name on it. But total recommend on this.
Yeah,
if you're traveling internationally, pick yourself up a bottle and let us know what you think of it. In the meantime, this has been Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers Bold and Spicy Rye on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.